Hey, chiropractors, welcome to Modern Chiropractic Mastery with your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, where we discuss the latest in marketing, business, and professional growth with some of the leading experts in the industry. Welcome to another episode of Modern Chiropractic Mastery. This is your host, Dr. Kevin Christie, and today I bring an episode with Molly Cahill on all things Instagram marketing for chiropractors. We've had her on the show previously, and we dove into Instagram. As you can imagine, things change pretty quickly. We were lucky enough to have Molly come speak to our East Mastermind group in Boston this summer and dive into a lot of the Instagram marketing and just marketing in general and messaging and positioning and all the things that are going to help you grow your practice. And so today we dive into some updates for you on all things Instagram. Before we do that, I want to let you know we are, just like last year, we had a great online course. Last year's online course was the $30K a month revenue course and getting chiropractors there and why it's so important. And this year, same time frame, different material. We're diving into the Cash Confident Chiropractor. It's going to be 6 weeks long. We drip out a lesson each week. First lesson will be December 1st, and it wraps up in the early part of January. We are releasing the registration for Early Bird on Monday, November 3rd. You can go to bit.ly/MCM Cash. The link will be in the show notes here. There will be Early Bird from November 3rd to November 15th, and then we will close registration completely on November 30th. And we've got 6 lessons. 4 of them will be done by me, one by Dr. Holly Tucker, and another one by Christine Odell. And we're going to really try to get you to be fully competent and confident in your practice finances and how that relates to your personal finances. We're not going to dive into investing and all the things that you would need accreditation for. But between the 3 of us, we have a lot of experience in practice finances and personal finances. And I feel like after this 6-week course, you will really grasp it and be able to apply it to your practice. So check that out at bit.ly/MCM Cash. Without further ado, here is my interview with Molly Cahill. All right. Excited to have Molly on the show again. It's been 2 years. We just looked that up before we recorded. 2 years since we've had you on. But between that, we were fortunate enough to have you come and present to our East Mastermind group in Boston this past summer. And that was very well received. And so we had a lot of good insights on marketing and in particular Instagram marketing. And I wanted to get you on to kind of do an update show on Instagram. It's like, again, been a couple years, and 2 years in Instagram world is like 2 decades in real world. So
Yes.
what's new in your world, Molly?
Oh my gosh. So first of all, I was really thank you again for having me in Boston. I'm not good at being disingenuous and fake. And I just have to say that your people were a blast. I had the best time. I was like, man, I wish I wasn't leaving so soon and could stay. I truly had a great time presenting to your group. So kudos to you for curating such an amazing group of people. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, both groups are just amazing in the collaborative work that they do together, and then help each other out, and then also have fun with our guest presenters has always been great.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 hours is a long time to present. I felt like I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I can do this. But I loved it. It was great because normally when I get to do presentations, it's a little bite sized. I can cover a lot in 30 minutes or whatever. But I loved that we were able to actually go deeper and be practical, actually put everything to work and kind of workshop each topic. So
Yeah, and it's obviously the design of the 4 hours is not to be just a didactic lecture, but it's always good to have heads down work and you facilitate
yeah.
that. So people got really clear on, because again, like when you talk about, say, Instagram marketing, it's misconstrued sometimes that all you need to do is get good at particular nuances of Instagram, but you still have to know your ideal audience and you got to know your messaging. And it was nice for you to work us through that. And then we can get to the bells and whistles of
Yeah.
Instagram. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's start out. It's been a couple years since Instagram.
Uh-huh.
You and I talked about it. What are just some of the things off the top of your mind that are new in the last 6 to 8 months? But I'm going to actually make you start with one, and then I'll let you go to the other ones. But the thing I'm real fascinated with, which is the IG collaborations
Oh, yeah.
that we can do. So if we can start with that and explain what that is, some of the details of that, some of the power behind that, and then we can talk about some other new aspects of Instagram.
Absolutely. That's actually one of my favorite and probably I would say most underutilized features on Instagram. And you're right. I actually don't think that was when we spoke last 2 years ago. I don't think that was a thing. It's been a while now, but I don't remember exactly how new.
Mhm.
But one of the things with so in our Instagram management agency, for those who don't know, we run about 30 chiropractors accounts. One of the things we ask for every single month without fail is, I mean, we ask for several things, but one of the things we ask for is what local business do you want to highlight this month? Now that could be a colleague, right? Like somebody who refers you patients or that you refer patients to, or it could be as simple as the local coffee shop down the street, a boutique. I mean, we've had people do all number of things, nail salons, like you name it. Um, and we, let's just first say if we were doing like the colleague route, we'll do, you know, our favorite physical therapists in, Raleigh, North Carolina, and then it's like a you would do like a you could do it as a reel or like a carousel post where you're highlighting all of these businesses. Or
Mhm.
a lot of my pediatric chiropractors and pregnancy ones, they'll do like favorite lactation consultants or doulas or midwives or whatever. So like I said, whoever, maybe it's a CrossFit gym that you often refer to, um, or a myofascial release therapist, like anybody who you maybe ever refer out to that could be like your trusted providers in the area. And then instead of just tagging them in the post, it does say tag, so it's confusing 'cause it
Yep.
says tag. You'll hit add 'em as a collaborator, and if they accept it, then it lives on their page as well, and so then you're getting, exposure to both audiences, which is gold. And I will say that a common thing I hear is, "Oh, well, they didn't accept my collaboration.
Mhm.
They hate me." No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they probably just didn't see it because
Yeah.
it only goes into your notifications. You'll get like a DM sometimes too, but it's just
Mhm.
so easy to get buried that I encourage my students and our clients to just send them a DM and just say, "Hey,
Mm.
I added you as a collaborator on this post. No pressure to accept it, but if you do, it really help us
Mm.
both out, blah, blah, blah." So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, and it doesn't even have to be, it can be really fun. It could be like,
Mm.
this is where the Christies went for dinner on Friday.
Mhm.
It can be like, here's our favorite date night spot. Like it doesn't have to be business like
Mm.
colleagues.
Yeah, and then it can be, it's almost like when you would, it's different, but when you would check in on Facebook at the chiropractic office, a lot of people would see that, and that was pretty good. And you would sometimes ask people to do that. But like for instance, we're co-hosting a workshop for endurance athletes, and I'm doing the injury prevention side. And then we got a coach. She's a PhD who does kind of the mental performance for endurance coaches, and so we're co-presenting, and we're doing some social media on that. And that was one thing we did was we posted, invited her as a collaborator, but let her know, hey, we're going to invite you as a collaborator on that. So you can do that. Or, maybe you just service, you go to a yoga studio locally. And when you go there, you could take a picture of whatever
Mhm.
yourself, or, you and the yoga person or whatever, and invite them to collaborate. And so it's almost kind of like checking into that business in a sense.
Yeah, we did it. Just thinking of one of our mutual clients that we did it with. There's like a non-toxic nail salon, like locally
Hmm.
owned or whatever. And the post did not perform well. It got like 7 likes, maybe. Like I don't remember. It wasn't much. But I checked it. My daughter and I went and got our nails done there. And I told her, I was like, "Oh, I didn't know about you. I heard about you through this post." She goes, "Fourth person who's come in this week." So
Hmm.
I just always like to remind people, I mean, it's a true story. I like to remind people that it might not on the surface, it'd be like, "Oh,
Hmm.
well, this didn't really perform well," but people are still seeing it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of
No,
silent lurkers.
love it. Yeah. So I would, if I was a chiropractor, I would definitely dive in and utilize that strategy.
100%.
Let's take a break from today's episode and announce our first sponsor. This is going to be Propel Marketing and Design. I've known Darcy Sullivan for years. We've worked hand in hand on my websites. I don't trust anybody else to do this search engine optimization. She does a great job. There's so much to it. A lot of the lingo and the words are beyond my comprehension, but it's just amazing work that she does. And if you're really going to get results with Google, you have to make sure your website is SEO optimized. And I really don't want you doing it yourself as a chiropractor. So you just have to have this type of stuff done. And if you're looking to get more organic online traffic that pulls in new patients, Propel Marketing and Design is currently offering chiropractors who listen to this podcast a free SEO website review. The free review will help you uncover methods that will improve your website and boost your search engine visibility. Head over to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor and schedule your free SEO website review. You won't regret it. She gets great results. Your website needs this. Your search results need this. Head on over there to propelyourcompany.com/chiropractor to get your free SEO website review. I guess another question off of that particular topic. Obviously, everybody talks about Instagram Reels as being kind of the thing right now, but there's Reels and there's stories and there's posts. Do you recommend chiropractors have a healthy mix of all of those things?
Yeah, so that's a great question. One of the biggest changes I would say just in the last even 6 months is we very rarely, almost never do just a single image post or single graphic post for our clients anymore.
Hmm.
Carousels are having a big moment. So that's
Yeah.
for people who don't know what that is. That's the post that you can just swipe through multiple slides.
Yeah.
You can have up to 20 now. You used to only be able to have 10, so you can have up to 20 slides. And we're finding that rather than there being like a lengthier caption underneath
Hmm.
a post, people are more likely to swipe through a carousel because it's like 1 to 2 sentences on each,
Yeah.
or even 3, you know what I mean? It's just like little
Hmm.
bite-sized pieces of information. And this, to me, I love it. Like, those are some of the most types of content I consume the most. And on top of just carousels being popular, this is such a breath of fresh air to me that Instagram is really returning. Everything always comes back again. Like a lot of stuff from the 90s
Yeah.
is like trending. It's like now what's come back in vogue, which I hate to even call it a trend because I'm like, shouldn't it have just been this all along? Is um I'm not saying I don't ever do any carousels with professional photography and
Hmm.
that I've made in Canva, but we're really seeing the more uncurated photo dump,
Hmm.
like just almost like here's, pictures from my camera roll
Yeah.
with like little pieces of text over it because the biggest thing, like you said talking about like the bells and whistles, like the biggest thing to take away from this episode, if you hear nothing else, is it's not about whether it's a reel or a carousel or a story. People are just craving your lived experience.
Hmm.
And the tips and tricks are no longer cutting it because if I want 3 tips for, better sleep, I can like put that into AI, right? Like, here's 3
Yeah.
tips for better sleep. People don't want that. It's boring. It's has no none of your, like I said, your experience and your authority behind it. That's what people are wanting. So, uh, as a marketer, we were always trained to never use the word I, right? It
Hmm.
was like you
Hmm.
always say you, but that's like not a thing. It's like now people really want to see, here's what I do with my clients. Like,
Yeah.
so for you, it's like, you know, but if you could say, my son came home today. I don't know if you have a son. Do you have a son?
Two.
Ew, that's what I thought. Okay. My son came home today. And I don't know, do they play sports?
Yeah, they're 5 and 3, so it's
Okay.
not pretty.
Okay, so, like, what do they call soccer at that age? They call it, like, a swarm ball?
Basically, exactly.
Um, so you could even say, like, let's just say you had a high school athlete, though. It's
Hmm.
like, "My son came home today with bad sciatica, and I've been a chiropractor for 20 years, and here's exactly what I did for him," or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, people want that versus 3 tips for sciatica. Like, they don't care.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that to me is such a refreshing shift because people just literally want, like, it's conversations you're having every day in your office anyway. So now just train yourself to be like, "Oh, this is my
Hmm.
take."
Yeah.
Like, I know, hey, these YouTube videos are going to tell you to do XYZ, but let me tell you, this is not my experience. Like,
Mm.
this is what's going to help.
Yeah, I'm sure. I imagine it helps for people to feel like they know you.
Yeah.
And that's one way of doing it, right? And
Yeah.
obviously, uh, a lot of people put their doctors on a pedestal, and if they can feel like you're a human and you have a life
Mhm.
and all that, I think they can connect with you a little bit. You're always looking for that. It's kind of like with video, you get that parasocial effect where you may not know that person, but they see your videos and they feel like they know you.
Yeah.
I've always referenced like if I saw Brad Pitt walking down the street, I would feel like I knew him and
Yeah.
he doesn't know me from Adam, right?
Yeah.
And that's that one-sided kind of relationship there in the sense where they feel like they know you and they which helps them feel like they trust you and if your content is down to earth, they'll like you. So it's that, that common phrase, no like and trust. And I think
Mhm.
what you're saying helps build that. Because I think, you can kind of put marketing into two different buckets, and this is going to be very, very quick and dirty what I'm saying here in a sense, but if you put out regular content that isn't that compelling, but it's going in front of the audience of your current and past patients, that is going to do enough to stay top of mind with them.
Mhm.
And they've already serviced your business, so they have that know, like, and trust. So as long as you can keep them top of mind, there's a higher chance of them reactivating, coming in, or referring to you. But then there's the hard part of marketing, which is compelling people that don't know you
Mhm.
and getting them to come into your office. And that everybody's always looking for that quick fix of like, if I run this ad or I create this content, I'm gonna like automatically compel that person to become a new patient versus the fact that a lot of times you have to nurture them. And
Yeah.
can you speak to that a little bit on like
Yeah.
how
I would
you
love to.
nurture via Instagram?
Yes, absolutely. So I think about content. I just put together a new free resource. It's actually available now. It's just mollycahill.com/case study. And all it is, it's Canva templates that you can plug and play in case studies. Here's the thing about case studies. You're going to get 7 likes. You're going to get probably 0 comments. And you're going to be like, dang it, Molly, I just spent all this time putting together this case study that you said, but let me tell you what's going to happen. That's the
Hmm.
thing that's going to get somebody to pick up the phone or go to your booking link and actually book an appointment. That is what I like to call conversion content. And it's not as sexy. It doesn't get the
Yeah.
big reach. But I teach, I've dubbed it a content ecosystem where you
Hmm.
have to have exactly what you said, content that speaks to both. If you want to think about it in terms of like cold, warm, and hot leads, like your more quote reach content. Reach just meaning the amount of unique people who see your post.
Yeah.
That type of content is going to be, like I said, different than like the more hard hitting, like,
Hmm.
I'm only going to stop scrolling if I see on this carousel that this person had 5 migraines a month and now they're having one, like, and I have migraines. I'm booking an appointment versus like, that's not going to reach the masses versus something that's, like I said, a little more, um, like viral hook ish,
Hmm.
that is designed to reach more people. So that is, you asked, how can you nurture people on Instagram? It's just making sure that you have a combination of those different types of content.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be, like I said, if you're the type of personality who's like, more, maybe you're more professional, you're not super,
Mhm.
I don't know, but we do have clients who will do like a lot of funny videos,
Yep.
and those tend to reach a really wide audience.
Hmm.
Um, and what's cool about those is I see those almost fall into 2 camps. Like, I mean, not fall into 2 camps, they cover both.
Yeah.
Like, we will literally have people say, "Okay, that was the clincher. I'm gonna feel comfortable in your office because you
Hmm.
have a personality similar to mine." So my point there isn't that you need to be doing funny videos if that's not your personality. My point is that no longer is this is like going back to what I was saying, no longer is there like, "Oh, here's my personal account and here's my
Yeah.
professional that has my logo and everything is made in Canva and everything's pretty and I've got these stock images of this random guy holding his neck." Like, that's just
Yeah. It's
not
been
fun.
funny. I've been noticing kind of a few buckets of that humor or lack thereof. But you get there's on one side of the spectrum is just educational based content,
Yeah.
and that's great. And then what
Mhm.
I've seen, which has been a cool combination, is people, and we have some of our mastermind members doing it where they're providing valuable health education, but then they're putting a little bit of humor spin on it. So they're
Mhm,
combining both. And then I see some, and then there's one that I've seen quite a bit where literally everything they do is just some kind of humor thing that has no educational value. Like
mhm,
it's like literally just people dance, like team members dancing, or like and that's all their content. Like I think if you had a healthy mix of educational content with humor, or you could sprinkle in some humor only. Obviously, you could sprinkle in some education only, but I've seen some where it's literally everything they post, and it's not their personal page, it's their practice. It's
mhm,
just like everything is humor with no substance. And I'm like, I get it's probably getting engagement and maybe it's also leveling you down, but at some point, maybe some
mhm.
information too. If it's your clinical page, if it's your personal, you can do whatever you want.
No, I agree with you. That's like I said, it's why I call it an ecosystem because
Yeah.
it's hard, right? Because you get addicted to the, like, numbers,
Yeah.
and when you do post something more hard hitting,
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, well, that quote flopped." I'm like, "Did"
Mm.
because or is that the thing that's actually gonna make somebody book an appointment?
Correct. And that's the hard part about the whole thing, right? Is like if I said you got your humor only video with no education and you got 10,000 views, and then you got your education only and you got 1,000 views, but some of those people would actually come see you for what you're talking about. That's going to be the metric you want. But then again, I love the sweet spot of injecting humor and having the substance, which I think can be done.
Yeah, and another thing you can do is if you're like, "Oh, that feels like a lot of pressure, I'm not funny," or whatever, we
Yep.
do, for our clients, we call them "Can't help myself" posts.
Hmm.
And it's where it's like an option of like, you know, which exercise would you be happy to never do for the rest of your life? And you like list out like burpees or this or this or this. And it's like people can't help themselves but want to come play along with your game. Like, and that type of stuff, yeah, is not really getting people to pick up the phone and call you, but it's getting engagement and growing a community on your page.
Yep.
And so then when you do post the more hard-hitting facts, then they're more likely to see it because Instagram's like, "Oh, people tend to like this page's content." So like I said, that's why there's a mix.
Yeah, and so, it's fascinating. So far, we talked about the collaborations, we talked about the slide decks or the carousels, talked a little bit about the psychology of who's on Instagram and what they're looking for now versus they may be using AI for certain things that they might have used Instagram for. My wife and I always joke around. It was she basically raised our kids early on through Instagram, and
Mhm.
now she's using AI for things. And so it's fascinating the trend of
Yeah.
things that people are using AI for. So that's going to impact what they're using Instagram for. Let's take a short break for one of our great sponsors, TrackStat. It is a new type of software plugin for your EHR that combines patient communication, marketing, automation, and statistics with patient and employee tracking. Built by chiropractors for chiropractors, it shows your team what to focus on each day. See patient visit habits, missing information, unpaid bills, insurance collection visit average, and more. Great visibility of data so you can focus on filling your office with your best patients. When you can see what your staff and patients are doing or not doing and take action accordingly, your profits naturally grow. Take TrackStat for a test drive in your office with our free trial. Not a techie, no problem, we can help. To get started on your free trial, visit trackstat.org and watch the demo. That is trackstat.org. We've talked about some of the types of content you could have. Anything else that's trending or new on Instagram that you're seeing?
Well, if this isn't necessarily trending per se, but if I
Mhm.
could touch on AI
Yep,
and
absolutely.
okay, so I use it in my
That's trending.
it is trending, yeah, but I
Yes.
mean, I use it in my business every day, right? In this
Yep.
new group coaching program that you've got 2 of your masterminders in of mine. Um, I'm literally teaching AI now incorporated into my curriculum that I've never taught before.
Yep.
Um, but there's a way to do it without losing your voice or and yes, I know there are ways that you can train it and you can upload all of your stuff.
Yep.
And that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I use it all the time. If I'm out for a
Mhm.
walk and I have an idea for a post, I'm like, "Hey, chat, like, let me just brain dump this idea." Just And the important thing to say is do not change my words
Mhm.
because I learned that the hard way.
No.
Like, I would look at the end result and I'm like, that's nothing I said. It's like,
Mhm.
don't change my words. Just help me clean up my thought.
Yeah.
And I've even asked it to, hey, I have this idea for an Instagram carousel. I'm going to brain dump some ideas. Please don't change any of my words, but help me clean it up. And it'll like parse it out into slides for
Yeah.
you. So that's how you're still using the tool, right? It's a time-saving tool.
Let's take a short break from today's episode to tell you about the best decision I've made in my clinic in the last 10 years, and that has been adding shockwave therapy to our clinic. The outcomes have been really impressive. Certain conditions we were struggling with in the past, we're now seeing results with the shockwave therapy for that. And second of all, the ROI has been really good. You know, when you make a big investment in something, you want to see a return, and we're seeing that return in clinical outcomes and in our investment, and that's been really nice to see. I chose Keenest Medical for 4 reasons. One is the technology is top notch. You have to have great technology. There's a lot out there that isn't quite up to snuff. The second thing is they have a really good clinical training. They have an exclusive partnership with Academy of Shockwave Excellence so that you can become clinically proficient in shockwave. You do need to get skilled at it. I think that's a big differentiator between practices that are getting great results and seeing the ROI is they have a great clinical aspect to that as well. So you want to get trained appropriately. Third is they have in-house service team for all of your technical support, which is key when you're investing in a machine like this. And then lastly, they have a very in-depth marketing and business support for you so that you can launch this into your practice effectively, that you can get that ROI on it, that you can get the clinical outcomes. And they also have really good financing options if you need that. So go to KeenestMedical.com, KINAS medical.com, mention MCM podcast and receive a free shockwave in practice book with a purchase of a unit. So that's KeenestMedical.com, KINAS medical.com, and mention MCM podcast. That's one thing in our strategic coach group that I'm part of. We dive into AI a lot. I'm actually heading there in a couple days, and really the way they boil it down is it's human plus AI is the
Yes.
secret.
Oh, I love that.
It's not human only anymore. That's going to be optimal. It's not AI only. So to your point, you don't want to go into AI and say, write me a blog about headaches for a chiropractor. You could, but that's not gonna be great versus,
Mm.
like, for instance, when we have our clients that we do marketing for in a sense where they shoot videos and get them to us and we do all that. And we will take their videos a lot of times and utilize AI to say, "Hey, turn this into an email written copy that's
Mm.
compelling based off of the information in the video." So now it's the human, the doctor's information, and then AI is just cleaning it up and doing that. So it's really that human plus AI, and that's what we've been helping our coaching clients keep up with is the human plus AI aspect of it, not just leveraging AI and telling it to do everything for you.
I love that. That's great. Do you have a good tool you like for video transcripts?
Descript is really good.
Descript, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I either use
Mm,
that or Restream. I just
yeah.
Restream's free if you're doing a real small one. I
Yeah.
have
And then, I mean,
Descript.
I've taken things like now, like when I do our coaching calls for our clients, I'll run that audio through Descript and take Descript, run it through Grok, and I'll say, hey, give me basically like an outline of what we covered today, and it does that, and then I'll get it to our clients, like, so it's using that. You don't want to leave it at Descript, that's for sure. I think really a good process is, okay, you got the audio, you got the Descript, you run it through an AI, then you run it through Grammarly, which also uses AI. And then it comes out and it's like, now you've got that really polished product that is
Mhm.
still the genesis from your original content that you
Yes.
created, the doctor. It's not just AI making some shit up, right?
Yeah. No, and I've even used it yesterday. I was short on time, and so I scrolled back and I was like, okay, this reel performed really well a couple months ago.
Mhm.
I'm just going to repost the same exact reel, but I'm going to change the hook. So I put the hook into AI. I was like, hey, can you give me another compelling version of this hook? And it's like, yep.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
cool.
You could even, yeah, you could take the reel and you could run it real through AI and say, write me a great Instagram written copy for this.
Mhm.
And that copy goes right to the Instagram posts or the reel, the written copy part of it.
Yeah, the first what walked everyone through in my group coaching program, I'll give you like a little behind the scenes. The thing we did on the very first week was, I love what you said, the human plus AI.
Mm,
I had them scour 2 to 3 ideal patients, put on a document their
mm,
chief complaint, what else they were dealing with, what they've tried before, your
mm.
treatment plan, what they can't do because of this, I can't
Yeah.
play pickleball or whatever. And then I also had them copy and paste 5 of their favorite Google reviews, and we
Mhm.
put that into it. We're like, "Here, now this is gonna be the base of, like, literally anything."
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, that human plus AI, I love that.
It's fun too where you get like I like our website. At least I love the messaging we have on there. We spent a lot of time in the past getting clear on that. And so something that I went over with our coaching clients is like I took my URL, healthfitchiro.com, put it in, I use Grok, the paid version. I said, develop a brochure for me based on this, and it spit it out like that. And then you could sit, it's like develop me Instagram posts based off of my website content, develop a Google ad, like you name it. And it's our messaging that we've spent time on curating on our website and then taking that, uploading it and telling it to do what it needs to do as far as different types of pieces of collateral you're trying to create.
Yeah, sorry, I'm sitting here yelling at my dog to stop barking, so
That's how I've been podcasting for 9 years now,
yeah, yeah.
and now I got my own, like, little studio here and all the bells and whistles. But when I started, I was in my condo with one of the remember those science boards?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Science
the
project
trifold,
boards?
yes,
And
trifolds.
and I had the foam, like the sound buffer foam taped onto there. And then I had my dog, she's since passed, but I had her, and
Oh,
so many times she would be barking. But in the early days of podcasting, which I consider myself since 2016, podcasting is the early days, people expected dog barking in the background. So
yeah, I mean, it's just real life, right? It's like I
yes.
said, it's like, let's tie this together. The trend is people are just sick of, like I said, the overly curated, the video.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? This is real life. You're a real human. I feel like you meet me where I am and really help me with my problems. So, like I said, that's the summary of the whole, like,
Mhm.
what's trending is people want your own lived experience.
Yeah.
Stock photos have got to go. They just don't work. They just simply don't work. And people need to see you and hear from your own lived experience.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And so I think, we'll continue to try to keep up with Instagram. Is there any other piece of advice that you want to give our audience? And then after that, tell them how they can find you.
Yeah, I think with the advice piece, and this is
Mhm.
something I know I told your masterminders, it's like if you're having a hard time keeping up and doing it all, it's because you're full time in clinic. Like I
Yeah.
get it. Like, and there's some people who just truly love it. They don't want to delegate it. They want to
Yep.
keep it. And that's fine too. I'm not saying you
Mhm.
can't. But for those who just feel like "Ugh, I would rather do anything else,"
Yeah.
that not being afraid to just know that there are ways to get it off your plate and it doesn't have to be uh, this huge, like I said, I mean, my program was literally designed to train, whether
Mhm.
it's a front desk, a CA, or office manager, or your, 20-year-old nephew, whatever. I mean, I've had the gamut inside, you'd be surprised. I was laughing the other day. One of my clients said, or students in my program, she goes, I walked by my 20-year-old son's bedroom and I heard your voice coming out of his room.
Mhm.
He's doing the program for her clinic.
Yeah.
And she said, well, what did you think of it? And he said, I think it's good for the intended audience. So I don't know if that was like an insult or like, I'm not teaching Gen Z, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So like I said, that would, I guess, be my main piece of advice is, uh, don't be afraid to at least get some support with it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then in terms of working with us, we have kind of 3 tiers essentially. I have a membership called Holistic Marketing Hub. That's just gotten a huge facelift at the time this is gonna come out. It'll be, um, all the curriculum's been redesigned. It actually got pared major down. As somebody who teaches a lot, you know the value and, like, in the beginning, you're like, "I just wanna teach everything," and you
Yeah.
cram your programs full of all of this information, and then you're like, oh wait, like
Yeah.
this is too much.
Yeah, I've made that mistake before.
Yeah. So I have drastically pared down the amount of training videos so that it's, very succinct, step by step. The middle tier, I have a group coaching program. Like I said, I know you've got a couple
Mhm,
people in that with me right now, where you're essentially, when you enroll in that, you're buying a seat for your clinic. So
mhm,
it, the doctor, I last week I had like the provider would be on and the CA, and some of them I just had it was CA. Some people just had a virtual assistant. Like I said, there's
mhm,
all combinations. Um, and then I also have done for you Instagram management at the time. Right now we're on a wait list, but we're
mhm.
cross training some team right now so that we can expand that as well.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, and I think again, just to kind of summarize it, is that whether maybe you're 50 years old or 40 or 60, and you don't want to do Instagram, your clinic needs Instagram, and if it doesn't have Instagram or and consistency going on there, too many people of the age that are your ideal patient base may not um, really qualify you. If they go on your
Mhm.
Instagram and maybe they will refer to you and you have nothing going on there, they may not think you're legitimate in a sense. It's crazy
Mm.
to think that, but it definitely helps your clinic, even if you don't become an influencer, even if you don't
Yes.
drive 20 new patients a month from Instagram, like it really is going to have a positive impact on your practice.
Yep, it will. Like I said, and even if they find you on Google, they'll
Mhm.
still come to check out your page
Exactly.
just to be like, is this what I want or not?
Yep, absolutely. So, well, Ollie, thank you again. Hopefully, we have you on again sooner than 2 years from now. You keep us up to date on Instagram. And again, I thank you for all the work you've done, and for the mastermind in 2026 or 2025 for East. I may have to have you come to the West mastermind in 2027. We've already got 2026 planned out, so I can't fit you in there,
I
but
love
I know our
how
West would love it.
I love how far in advance you're planned out. I love it.
Yeah, my wife doesn't love it as much, but it's, it's I am a planner. It soothes my soul to know things are being planned and are ahead of time. I'm not a procrastinator, so
Well, I am, but that's why I can admire it. I'm like, good for you, because I don't operate that way. Thank you, Kevin.
have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And if you want to make the shift from busy, broke, and broken to time free and cash confident, or you just want to continue with the exponential growth, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com. Look at the MCM Mastery tab, watch the short video on there, and check out what we are doing now for evidence informed chiropractors. We are equal parts coaching and marketing done for you. Yes, you shoot some videos, we help you with campaign strategies and ideas and really become a thought leader in your community. You shoot those videos, you send them to us, we produce, edit, and brand them to you. Then we distribute them through all of your channels. We also take them and we turn it into one good blog per month. And every other month, we have Darcy Sullivan producing a robust blog with a topic that you pick from her database to help with your SEO. So we essentially become your content marketing agency to make sure your practice is always having ethical, elegant content marketing to help grow your practice. On the coaching side, we also help you with everything from marketing ideas to business, communications, finances, anything practice growth, and really try to help prevent you from being stuck on that island. And we hold you accountable. We have a great group of doctors that are just doing amazing things, and we look forward to help you out to take that next step in your practice. So again, check us out at modernchiropracticmarketing.com and learn more.